Good to be home. Miller Park, Milwaukee on a beautiful Monday night for baseball. It's the Brew Crew taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Game one of this three-game series. The roof is wide open. Feels like the middle of summer here in May. Gene Segura continues to set the pace in the National League. The league's leading hitter coming into play tonight, Nori Aoki, red hot, and the Brewers are trying to keep that going against one of the toughest in the league tonight, Clayton Kershaw. Hi, everybody. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us. Brewers are really excited to be home. That was a very bad road trip, 2-8, and you got to have a short memory in this game, Ron Renicky says. But they do remember how good Clayton Kershaw was the last time they faced him, and the Brewers are going to counter with Giovanni Gallardo tonight.
Yeah, and Yo was pretty good his last time out. He did lose to the Pittsburgh Pirates, but he threw 5 scoreless innings before giving up a 2 spot in the 6th, and that's all it took to lose a ball game. But he was 1-0 last year against the Dodgers, making his first start this year. He's going to need to be strong early because the Brewers are going to have a tough time scoring runs because they're facing perhaps the best in the business. Clayton Kershaw, the left-hander, leads the league in earned run average. He's actually done that the last 2 years. He was the Cy Young Award winner in 2011, and he just keeps getting better because in his last 4 starts, he hasn't allowed more than 1 earned run. So when the Brewers get their opportunities, they better take advantage of it tonight.
Now, Kershaw coming off a start where he threw 133 pitches, the most he has thrown in a game in his career. But you see the career track for Clayton Kershaw. He's one of the best, had a 21-win season in 11, backed it up with an ERA title again last year, and he has the best ERA in the big leagues coming into play tonight. That sets the stage. The Brewers and the Dodgers, the man from the land of the rising sun and the land of the rising batting average. Nori Aoki has been red hot. Craig Kershaw and Davey Nelson will break him down when we come back.
Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, let's go places. Back at beautiful Miller Park, a glorious Monday night for baseball. The Dodgers and the Brewers here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Brett Kershaw, David Nelson back with you. And when you think of a leadoff hitter and what he's able to do, that's get on base often, kickstart your team from that top of the order. Nori Aoki's certainly been able to do that. Our lows never stop improving, Davey. Just in the month of May, he's elevated his batting average all the way up to .333, which is 5th in the National League. How is he getting so dialed in?
Well, number one, he leads the league in not striking out. He only struck out 11 times in 185 plate appearances. So what that does, you mean you're putting the ball in play, and he uses the whole field. He'll use right field, left field, center. You know, he hits the ball all over, plus he uses wheels to get base hits.
Well, the start of a big homestand between the Brewers and the Dodgers is straight ahead.
About ready for baseball tonight at beautiful Miller Park. Giovanni Gallardo leads the charge out onto the field. The Brewers trying to get this thing turned around. It has been a rough month of May, but the same can be said for the Dodgers. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, Sophia Menard. Great to have you with us tonight on an 84-degree evening in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And a good crowd on hand tonight. Dollar dogs here at Miller Park. And folks are taking advantage of it here tonight. Ron Renicky and Don Mattingly coming together with the four-man umpiring crew, exchanging lineups and looking at the ground rules. And here is Donnie Ballgame's lineup tonight for the Dodgers. It's brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. Carl Crawford leads off. He'll be followed by Mark Ellis and then Adrian Gonzalez. In the middle of the order, Matt Kemp, a struggling hitter with Andre Ethier and A.J. Ellis. Bottom three, Juan Uribe, D. Gordon, and Clayton Kershaw rounding it out.
And Giovanni Gallardo making his 10th start of the year, his first against the Dodgers this year. Last year he was 1-0 against LA in 2 starts. A .450 earned run average for Gallardo. Very good his last time out. Allowed only 2 runs in 6 innings against the Pirates. And the defense behind Giovanni today, the Menards Brewers defense. Aramis Ramirez and his hot bat are back at third base after a day off yesterday. Ricky Weeks back in the lineup. He got yesterday off as well.
Well, Ramirez still dealing with that left knee injury, and it's not something that knocks him out for multiple days, but every now and then he needs a day off. And Brewers could have used his bat yesterday. But he's back in there tonight, and the Brewers ready to face one of the game's best in Clayton Kershaw. Great matchup. Opening day starters coming together once again here. Kershaw and Gallardo. And there's Carl Crawford ready to lead the way for Los Angeles. These two teams come in with identical records. And to say it has been a rough start to the season for both is an understatement. Gallardo's first offering is outside ball one, and away we go tonight. Carl Crawford has swung the bat well this season. .299 hitter, has 5 homers, has 11 runs batted in, hit 2 of those home runs in one game against Milwaukee at Dodger Stadium.
Well, a guy you want to keep off the bases. The Dodgers don't steal much, but Crawford has 8 bags. Very similar situations offensively for these two teams. Batting averages are good for both. Runners in scoring position not so good.
Crawford takes a strike from Gallardo. First strike of the ball game. Now each team 8 games under 500 coming in, both in the cellar of their divisions. 17 wins, 25 losses. Dodgers are 7 back of the Diamondbacks. The Brewers 10.5 back of the Cardinals. Starting play today. And a lot of unrest with these two teams, and certainly in Los Angeles they had very high expectations, and they start this series under a lot of discussions, a lot of written reports that Don Mattingly may be in trouble as Crawford strikes out for out number 1.
Well, let's check out Yovani Gallardo and his delivery. Remember, before his last start, he and Rick Kranitz worked out in the bullpen and lengthened his stride a little bit. Not much, maybe an inch or 2, but it seemed to help him in his last start against Pittsburgh, and a good start tonight.
Now Rick Kranitz keeping a key eye on the home plate umpire Dan Bellino tonight. Here's Mark Ellis, and this will certainly help the Dodgers' cause, getting him back in the starting lineup. Ellis was injured in that Brewers series in late April, had a quad injury, had to come out of the game, and then he tried to play through it, could not. They eventually put him on the disabled list, and he just returned yesterday. But the one thing you hear about this Dodger team, and when you talk to those who cover this team every day, Rock, they said there's just not that fire. We're not seeing the fire. Well, it's hard to have that kind of fire when you're missing a lot of your key parts, and Ellis was one of those.
Well, they have 11 guys on a DL right now, and that doesn't even include Ellis coming back. So a lot of the pitching staff and the position players have been hurt. Hanley Ramirez has continued to stay out of the lineup. He's only played 4 games this year.
Yeah, first it was a thumb injury for Ramirez, and then he came back from that injury a month into the season, ended up injuring his hamstring, and he is still on the disabled list. Jerry Hairston's on the DL as well, the former Brewer. They've got Josh Beckett, one of their top pitchers, on the disabled list, or they're supposed to be one of their top pitchers. 2-2 to Ellis. Just missed. And the count goes full, 3-2. Dan Bellino, the man in charge of the balls and strikes tonight. Wally Bell is the crew chief. He's over at first base. Manny Gonzalez and Tony Randazzo round out the 4-man crew. A swing and a miss. Ellis strikes out. Good start for Gallardo. Back-to-back Ks.
Yep, curveball to get Crawford, and that was a cutter right there at 86 miles an hour. Catching plenty of the plate, but Ellis out in front. Yeah, Yo is pretty good in that start against the Pirates. He had 5 scoreless innings before giving up 2 runs in the 6th inning, and that was it. 97 pitches for Gallardo.
Adrian Gonzalez now at 2 away. Well, he's having a great year. Gonzalez comes in 9th in the league in batting. He's hitting .331. He's always hit well against Milwaukee. Although he was 2 for 10 in that series in late April, he is still hitting .349 against the Brewers throughout his career. Has 9 home runs as well. That ball's tagged right to Ricky Weeks. And a good start for Yovani Gallardo. One Texan to another. Clayton Kershaw next up as the Brewers come to bat. Order tonight. Nori Aoki leads off. Gene Segura, then Ryan Braun. Middle of the order is Aramis Ramirez, Jonathan Lucroy, and Carlos Gomez. Weeks, Betancourt, and Gallardo rounded out.
And Clayton Kershaw making his 10th appearance so far this year. He's got a complete game. A 4-2 record, and he leads the National League in earned run average at 1.40. Has allowed only 4 home runs this year. Leads the league in strikeouts. Actually, no, third in the league in strikeouts. He is a tough customer.
Now, Kershaw has been very good here at Miller Park. Has a couple of starts, only 1 earned run allowed in 14 innings here at Miller Park. A .64 earned run average, and you could go on and on with these superlatives and the statistics for Clayton Kershaw, and he's earned it. He is by far and away one of the premier pitchers in the game. As Aoki pops this one up, foul territory. Uribe with room. He's got it for the out.
Well, let's check out the Menards Dodgers defense for tonight. They've committed 33 errors. That's next to last in the National League in team defense. Matt Kemp in the center field has 4 errors, as does Adrian Gonzalez. 2 positions that you don't expect those kind of errors.
Now the Dodgers with 33 errors this season. Matt Kemp is not hitting, and he is not playing good defense at this point. It has been a total struggle on both sides for Matt Kemp. And shocking to see the Dodgers, one of the worst defensive teams in the major leagues. Only Washington has a higher error total than the Dodgers coming into play tonight in the National League.
Yeah, the Nationals have committed 38 errors. Difference is between the Nationals and the Dodgers. Washington over 500.
Kershaw quickly to 0-2 against Gene Segura. So you got the pitcher with the best ERA in the big leagues against the top hitter in the National League, Gene Segura. Should be a fun matchup. Segura shatters his bat. Uribe coming in, throws in a hurry to get the out. That was a nice play by Juan Uribe. Segura leads the league in infield hits on a number of swinging bunts just like this.
Yeah, Kershaw ties him up inside. Uribe, a pretty good third baseman. He's got good glove and an accurate arm. Not a lot of range, but if he can get to it, he's ordinarily going to be able to make a play. And just does get Segura at first.
Well, he's done his homework, hasn't he? Louis had to get rid of it in a hurry. So that'll bring up Braun now. Well, must-see TV when you get Kershaw versus Braun anytime, anywhere. Braun's career numbers against Clayton Kershaw, .263 average. He's 5 for 19 against him. Really hit lefties well, although you don't necessarily put Kershaw in just your run-of-the-mill lefty category. But the Brewers, as a team, swinging the bat well against left-handed pitchers.
And they've faced a lot of them lately. Seems like it's just nothing but left-handed pitchers against the Brewers since that Pirates series.
Yeah, what's that, 5 out of 6 nights?
Yeah.
Against lefties for Milwaukee. One ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs in the first. And Kershaw misses upstairs. 94-mile-an-hour fastball in the first inning.
It's been all fastballs so far for Kershaw. Hasn't messed around with that big curveball that he had. First inning, just getting loose, has good command on the outside corner. There it is.
Braun gets jammed a little bit. Back is D. Gordon. He'll give way to Matt Kemp, who makes a catch to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Kershaw. We're off and running at Miller Park. No score.
Finally back here after a long road trip, and good to see Corey Hart back on the field for the first time. A very important day for Corey in terms of his comeback. He ran on the field for the first time today and was also back in the batting cage on the field for the first time. He told me fielding-wise it was the first time he'd been out there. He took 1 ground ball and was cut off, but he said more importantly it was good to get out and run on the field. He told me he felt like a baby giraffe out there. Said that his muscles weren't working. He said the mind knows what it wants to do. The muscles aren't following the orders. So he said, you know, it's okay because I was nervous getting on the treadmill for the first time, but I'm feeling comfortable there. Nervous getting on the field for the first time, but good to get those nerves out of the way. And he told me it was great to get in the cage. The guys were cheering for him just to bunt, just to see Corey bunt on the field. Guys were cheering him on. So good to see Corey back on the field. Told me that he's feeling good. He's probably will do a week of rehab. But again, like Aramis Ramirez, when he returns, he will not be an everyday starter.
Yeah, that's the key. And Ron Renicky made that very clear today, that there is a deadline for Corey Hart, and he will be back. But don't expect too much from him too soon. And we're still seeing that with Aramis Ramirez at third base as Gallardo walks Matt Kemp on 4 pitches to start this second inning.
Now the question the Brewers have to ask themselves, would they rather have Aramis Ramirez 3 out of every 4 days or not at all and wait for him to be 100%? I think that's an easy decision for Doug Melvin and Ron Renicky. Throw him out there 3 days, give him a day off until he feels 100%. When that's going to come, who knows? And Corey Hart's going to have to go through the same thing.
And a significant milestone for Hart. However many steps there are in this rehab process, this was a big one today to get on the field. And you heard Sophia say they shoot him off the field after 1 ground ball. Certainly don't want him taking a lot of ground balls right now. They want to get him back in the cage first. Kemp started then stopped, and Gallardo misses with a fastball. And 5 straight balls to start this inning as Andre Ethier bats.
I like the baby giraffe reference.
That makes sense.
Pretty tall guy, right?
Legs aren't quite under him just yet.
Right.
Ethier hits that one hard to right. Aoki deep, reaches up, can't get it. And it takes a terrible bounce, and Kemp has a chance to score here. He will score. On his way to third goes Ethier. And it's going to be an RBI triple. Boy, that hit the wrong spot on the wall. A sideways bounce, and it ends up as an RBI triple, his first triple of the season, and the Dodgers have the first lead.
Yeah, with that fence out there angles back as it gets to the gap wall. But a fastball up right down the middle of the plate, and Andre Ethier hammers it out of the reach of Aoki. You see where it hit on that angle and all the way over into the gap in right center. And no chance for the Brewers to throw out Matt Kemp. He runs pretty well.
So it's 1-0 as the Dodgers get the early lead tonight. A.J. Ellis takes strike one. A.J. Ellis has kept his batting average at .280. Good hitting catcher, does a nice job behind the plate. Got some Wisconsin ties. He lives in Wisconsin in the offseason. Married a Wisconsin girl. Matter of fact, he works out in the off seasons down in Racine with Brewers bullpen catcher Marcus Hanel. So he is around the state indoors in the wintertime, getting ready for spring training each and every season.
And a very good catch and throw guy behind home plate. Makes pretty good contact, which is important in situations like this. Brewers have their infield in. They don't want to fall too far behind with Clayton Kershaw on the mound.
Ball and 2 strikes. Gallardo against A.J. Ellis. Could use a strikeout. And it skips in. Nice pick by Lucroy. '27-year-old Giovanni Gallardo. Mexican born, Texas raised. He grew up about 20 miles from Clayton Kershaw's hometown. Gallardo from Fort Worth. Played his high school ball at Trimble Tech in Fort Worth, and Clayton Kershaw is from the Dallas area, Highland Park, and both of these pitchers signed out of high school. Both had plenty of college offers, of course. Kershaw a first rounder, Gallardo a second rounder. 3-2 pitch. Ellis bounces one to Segura. Ethier is back to the bag. Segura goes to first for the out. And therein lies the trouble with the Dodgers offense.
Yeah, with the infield in, you hope that you get a ground ball right at you, and that's what happens. Segura able to make the play at first, and Ethier has to stay at third. You just can't fall too far behind when Kershaw is on the mound. Even a 2-run lead is tough to make up, because Kershaw has not allowed more than 1 run in any of his last 4 starts.
Here's Juan Uribe now. Infield still in, and Uribe takes a strike. Inside corner fastball. Hasn't been a whole lot of talk about Gallardo's velocity in his last few starts. It's still down. He's still pitching in the 89 to 92 mile-an-hour range, which is a far cry from his 94, 95 mile-an-hour range a few years back. Throwing a lot of breaking balls. He does have a very good curveball, has a cut fastball that he throws.
Yeah, and those 2 pitches very good his last time out. And they were very good in the first inning to get those 2 strikeouts.
Took a loss in his last start against the Pirates, giving up 2 runs in 6 innings. Brewers lost 3-1 against Pittsburgh. No run support for him. And the count goes to 1-2.
Yeah, but ordinarily the Brewers score some runs when Gallardo's on the mound. It's unusual for Gallardo not to get runs. Kyle Loesch is the guy that hasn't been getting runs.
Yeah, the Brewers scoring nearly 6 runs a game for Gallardo this season. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Uribe doesn't bite. Good block by Lucroy. Count goes to 2-2. Now the Dodgers hitting for a high average, as Rock said, 5th in the league, but second to last in the National League in runs per game and home runs this season.
Hitting only .226 with runners in scoring position.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
And that number could be worse had Adrian Gonzalez not been so good. He's hitting .471.
Yeah, he leads the league, and they're still down near the bottom with runners in scoring position. Full count. Infield end. Runner at third base with 1 away. And a swing and a miss. Gallardo struck him out. Well, that's a big one early for Yovani Gallardo, the second out, and that will allow the defense to loosen a little bit.
Yeah, that cut fastball that didn't do a whole lot, but you can see Uribe underneath with that big swing. Uribe doesn't believe in that shortening up with 2 strikes.
No. And it's tough to hit for a high average with runners in scoring position when you don't.
He takes a big hack.
So 2 gone for D. Gordon, speedy shortstop of the Dodgers. And there's strike 1, a fastball from Gallardo. Justin Sellers was playing shortstop when the Brewers were in Los Angeles in late April. And after Ramirez came back, Hanley Ramirez we're talking about, once he came back and then was re-injured, it was D. Gordon who gets the chance the second time around.
Yeah, when you're not scoring runs, you can't afford to have a guy out there just to catch and throw. You need a guy that can drive in some runs. Gordon got off to a good start, but has tailed off considerably.
Now Gordon hitting just .191. He is 9 for 47 at the plate. His on base percentage is .296. And even though he profiles to be a leadoff hitter, a low on base percentage will send you to the bottom of the order quickly.
Leadoff hitter that can run. I mean, blazing speed, but strikes out a ton.
Andre Ethier at third. He tripled in Matt Kemp. 1-2 on Gordon. D. Gordon, he's the son of former big league pitcher Tom Gordon. Flash Gordon.
Yep, I faced his dad.
That's a great curveball he threw, wasn't it?
He did. He
One
had
of the best.
He had good curveball. He was a starter with the Red Sox, and then he moved around. He ended up being a closer.
Giovanni sends in a 1-2. 2-2 now.
Yeah, he was Tom Gordon then.
Not Flash.
Then he went to Flash. And then he go back to Tom after a while.
I think, yeah, when you're not saving games at a high rate, Flash doesn't apply. But yeah, he was a closer with the Red Sox. He ended up closing with the Phillies. Had a nice career, Tom Gordon. There's a swing and a miss. Gallardo back-to-back strikeouts and able to get through the second inning with just 1 run. A walk and a triple to start the inning. Gallardo stranding a runner at third. Now 4 punch-outs.
8-game homestand for Milwaukee. They're down 1-0. And hey, just a reminder, come out to Miller Park for Brewers Spring Madness now through Wednesday. Save 50% on seats. Clemens hot dogs and small Pepsi products are just $1 each. For tickets, visit brewers.com/madness.
That's a great deal. Good to see everybody out at the ballpark today. Hope you'll make plans to join us in the coming days. Got Zach Greinke on the mound tomorrow for Los Angeles, making his return to Miller Park in a Dodger uniform. And then Hyun-Jin Ryu is on the mound Wednesday. Ramos Ramirez bounces one over to third. Uribe makes a play for the out. Ramirez is Kershaw's first out of the second inning. Dodgers coming off a series in Atlanta. They were swept by the Braves and feeling like they gave a couple of those games away in Atlanta. These two teams have the worst records in the month of May coming into this game tonight. The Dodgers are 4-12 in the month of May. The Brewers 3-14. And you're hearing a lot of the same adjectives from both clubhouses, both dugouts, prior to today's game. Both managers trying to keep things positive. Both teams feel like they have enough to turn it around and get back in the race. They feel like the Brewers did last season, as Lucroy hits it hard, backhanded by Gordon, and he's got a great arm, and he makes the play for out number 2.
Man, Lucroy just can't find a hole. Seems to always hit the ball, but always at somebody. And D. Gordon with a nice backhand play to get him.
So 2 up and 2 down, a couple of ground outs. And that'll bring up Carlos Gomez. Gomez is 4 for 7 in his career against Kershaw. And he breaks his bat. Slow roller out to Mark Ellis, and that's an easy inning for Clayton Kershaw. He's breaking bats already. He's got a couple of them in this game.
One to nothing early, and the Brewers are finally back here, and we get time to catch up with Brewers COO Rick Schlesinger now. Rick, it's a warm night here at Miller Park, but fans may be interested in wearing this sweater. Can you tell us more about this special piece?
This is a Bob Uecker game-worn sweater, and fans starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. if they go to Brewers.com, are going to have a chance to figure out how to win this one, well, along with a Giovanni Gallardo opening day jersey. So there's going to be a lot of fun things. But the prize, of course, is the Bob Uecker game-worn sweater, the only one that we're offering up this year.
That is definitely a special offer. You can get your piece of euchre tomorrow at 10 a.m., like you said. But now, as if the pitching matchups weren't enough to get fans here, it is finally Spring Madness, and there are deals all over this park. Tell us about the offerings here.
The Dodgers series, this game tomorrow and Wednesday, half-price tickets. Any ticket $34 or under normal price. Half price, $1 hot dogs, $1 Pepsi products. So great bargains. The weather's beautiful, and we're home, so let's get a winning streak.
The giveaways continue on Sunday, a Ryan Braun bobblehead, but fans who maybe already have a Ryan Braun bobblehead, this one is special. Why is this one unique?
This honors his 40-30 year from last year. 40 home runs, 30 steals, only the 9th man in Major League Baseball history to accomplish that feat. So it's time for a Ryan Braun bobblehead to honor him.
All right, thanks, Rick. And BA and Rock, just the Brewers giving away everything here, back here at the homestand.
Tell Rick I want to see him put that sweater on. Then it'll be twice game worn. From the uke and the COO, I mean, that'll up the value. It's like when David Wells wore the Babe Ruth hat.
I should donate something game worn. I got something.
I got a whole suitcase full of stuff from a 10-day road trip. Game worn. It's crawled out of my suitcases. Clayton Kershaw, the pitcher, with a base hit.
If I'm not mistaken, I think one of the media guides from years back had Bob Uecker on it wearing that sweater. I think I remember him wearing that sweater or one like it.
Well, I'm sure he's getting, you know, that's kind of his the Uecker pattern.
Right.
Special made Bob Uecker sweater. That one might have had a chance to appear on the Johnny Carson show at some point. Although I think he usually wore a suit. The big flappy collars on him. Well, lead base runner on against Gallardo here in the 3rd inning. Top of the order, Carl Crawford, who struck out in the 1st after Gallardo fell behind him with 3 balls quickly. Giovanni has 4 strikeouts. And he puts that one by him. Well, in our Firestone Extra Mile today, Carl Crawford, the most triples among active players. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Well, the Dodgers have a triple. Andre Ethier is first of the season, driving in Matt Kemp last inning. Two balls and a strike. Tough man to double up. And a hot one out to Weeks. They got a chance. It goes 4-6-3, and they just get him.
That's about the only way you're going to double up Carl Crawford is they pull it right at somebody, and Brewers able to turn it. Made it look easy. A room service double play for the Brewers. Segura does the rest with that good arm.
Just the 2nd time all year Crawford has bounced into a double play. So 2 outs, wipes out the hit by the pitcher Kershaw. And now it'll be Mark Ellis. Got to wonder what kind of bat he will be for the Dodgers coming back from an injury. Missed about 3 weeks when it was all said and done with a quad injury.
He did that against Milwaukee. Brewers were in LA. Game 2 of that series.
No relation to A.J. Ellis, the Dodger catcher, but the 2 Ellises that are in the lineup every day. He was really swinging the bat well when he was injured. He was one of the Dodgers' best hitters, as a matter of fact, doing just that. Great opposite field swing, and Ellis is aboard with a 2-out single.
You can see the Dodgers really don't have a problem getting on base. It's coming up with that big hit. Similar problem that the Brewers seem to have from time to time. And a curveball by Gallardo up in the strike zone, and Ellis didn't try and pull it. He hit it the right. So the inning extended for Adrian Gonzalez.
And his first hit, Mark Ellis, since returning from the disabled list. Just activated yesterday. So Gonzalez with 2 gone. These 2 were teammates on Team Mexico in the WBC. Gallardo and Gonzalez. Well, it's got to feel eerily similar for Gonzalez, Josh Beckett, Carl Crawford. High expectations, high payroll. This is exactly what happened to them last year as they were in Boston. So much so that the Red Sox traded him to the Dodgers. And one of the great mulligans in American League history as Gonzalez flies out and Gallardo puts up a 0 in the third. Brewers coming to bat. Presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic, don't just live, shine. Beautiful night at Miller Park, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great to be home. Starting an 8-game homestand. The Brewers will bring in the Dodgers, the Pirates, and then a 2-game series against the Minnesota Twins. Ricky Weeks will lead off for the Brew Crew. Weeks, Betancourt, and Gallardo. Bottom of the order coming up against Kershaw. Now, Weeks has been a struggling hitter, and Ron Renicky was saying that it's going to be about the matchups for the short-term future here between Ricky Weeks, Betancourt, who can play second, and Jeff Bianchi. Bianchi got the start there on Saturday night and swung the bat well, and then Bianchi started at third yesterday. And had a good game. But Ricky Weeks has good numbers against Clayton Kershaw. And there aren't many hitters who have good numbers against Clayton Kershaw. So Renicky's going to play the numbers in this case.
Yeah, apparently Ricky sees the baseball pretty well against the tough left-hander. We'll see how he does tonight.
Yeah, Weeks is 4 for 9 against Kershaw. It's not a large sample size, but if you're a manager and you make the statement that you're going to play matchups, then this is the matchup you want.
Yeah.
And Weeks draws a walk. So for whatever reason, Kershaw has a tough time with Ricky Weeks, and a man is on, the first base runner of the ball game for the Brewers.
Ricky knows he hits him well, and Kershaw certainly knows that he has a tough time against him.
And we send it down to Sophia.
Well, Brian, tonight we're asking Brewers fans on our AT&T Twitter poll who is the toughest left-handed pitcher in Major League Baseball. Lots of options for fans. Is it Kershaw, Cliff Lee for the Phillies, former Brewer CC Sabathia, or John Lester for the Red Sox? So fans can tweet us at FS Wisconsin, and we'll update you throughout the game.
There's some great lefties to choose from in that group in our AT&T Twitter poll today. Clayton Kershaw since '09, the top winning left-hander in the big leagues. 60 victories since 2009. Cliff Lee is second on the list, and Sabathia is fourth. Interesting name and part of that group. Madison Bumgarner of the Giants. He's third among left-handers in wins since 09.
Well, if you were to ask players what left-hander in baseball that they do not want to face, it would probably be Aroldis Chapman. But he's a closer. He's not a starter. He's not going to be on the list. See, Chapman gave up a walk-off homer yesterday.
Yeah, back-to-back home runs he gave up in a loss as Betancourt turns one around. A base hit to left for Uni B. And the first hit of the ballgame for Milwaukee follows their first base runner after the walk 2 weeks.
Yep, 93-mile-per-hour fastball to Betancourt, and he gets good extension on it. That's a nice swing. Good balance. Bat in the hitting zone a long time and just out of the reach of Gordon. So now Gallardo has a chance to go up there and drop down a bunt.
Betancourt had an RBI yesterday, had a base hit, and he's starting to heat up a little bit at the plate after a slump. So now it's Gallardo. Does not have a sacrifice bunt this year. That's a good bunt, and the only play is first, and there is his first.
And the only way you could drop it down successfully was to bunt at third base. Make your rebate field of baseball. Nobody at third base. Well done. Well, you have to execute against Kershaw. So far, the Brewers have done that in this inning.
So successful sacrifice for Gallardo, and that puts runners at second and third. You heard Davey Nelson on our Brewers Live pregame talk about station-to-station baseball and the fact that the Brewers are going to have to do some things maybe they don't normally do. Obviously, you're going to bunt with a pitcher in this spot, but offensive execution, doing the little things, playing small ball is always imperative against a pitcher of this caliber. The Brewers don't typically play station to station. They're not an Earl Weaver 3-run home run kind of ball club, but you've got to really take advantage of your opportunities against Kershaw. They just don't come up very often.
Yeah, he gives you a pitch to hit. You better take advantage of it because ordinarily he's not going to give you too many.
And just in case Aoki thought about diving across the plate, Kershaw straightens him up. Now Nori had a good cut. Ball and a strike.
Yeah, a lot of fastballs by Kershaw early on. No problem for Nori to face a left-hander. Now, he's not a typical left-hander, Kershaw, but Aoki hitting .373 against lefties this year. Got 22 hits. And he's been red hot.
Had a big road trip, did Aoki. And a 1-1 misses. On the road trip, Aoki had 20 hits in 10 games. He was 20 for 42. That's a .476 batting average, and he raised his average from .283 to .333. But over the last 16 games, Aoki's been able to raise his batting average 80 points. Hitting .331 for this plate appearance. And it's 2-2 on Aoki.
And always important for a leadoff hitter. On base percentage over 400. Outstanding for Aoki.
Inning started with a walk to Ricky Weeks. He's at third now. Betancourt had a single to left. Both advanced by Gallardo's bunt. Tough matchup here. Kershaw against Aoki. And the 2-2 breaking ball pulled to the right side. That'll do it. Aoki gets the run home. Weeks scores an RBI ground out.
Yep, the only left-hander in the lineup tonight for Milwaukee, able to drive in the run on a tough curveball. Kershaw left it upstairs. He's only thrown 2 curveballs, one to Braun. He got him out on a fly. And here's a curveball that stayed up in the strike zone, and Aoki able to hit it to second base. The infield was back when we're all tied.
Get him on, get him over, get it in. A famous baseball phrase.
ABC baseball.
So now Betancourt at third base with Segura. Look out. Kershaw sends one across his legs.
A shot across the bow right there. Look out.
And he will certainly pitch inside. That's what makes him great. He has great command. And he's not afraid to back a hitter off. He's done it to the last two hitters. I think that's what makes Kershaw so good and what separates him from, good pitchers. I think there are a lot of pitchers that have his kind of stuff, but there's very few that command the stuff throughout the course of a ball game. And that's what makes him great.
Yep, in and out, up and down. He's had a tough time with his curveball so far tonight. Basically getting by with just the fastball. It's early yet.
2-0 to Segura. Back inside, ball 3.
Fastball 93, 94. Good velocity, not great. But as you mentioned, he puts it pretty much where he wants it.
Now, we talked about it on our Brewers Live pregame show, but there is one concern the Dodgers have tonight with Kershaw. He's coming back from a 133 pitch outing in his last start. Never in his career has he thrown that many pitches in a game.
Right, that it tells you where the Dodgers bullpen is right now. Not a lot of confidence in those guys down there.
Kershaw did not finish that game. He went 8 2/3. There's a strike 2 on Segura. I think they're fair questions, though, but Kershaw's a horse. You give your horse a chance to finish a game, and Kershaw just couldn't quite finish off that 9-inning performance, which would have been his second complete game.
That's a lot of pitches, though.
And especially in May, right?
Right.
So early in the season. Breaking ball, got him. Kershaw strikes out. Segura comes all the way back, down 3-0. But the Brewers score. Get an RBI from Aoki. One here as we go to the Dodger fourth. The 5K sausage walk run scheduled for July 20th. Registration is open right now. You can sign up today at brewers.com/5K. And this year we encourage participants to help raise funds in support of military families whose loved ones have been injured while serving our country. It's a scene from last year's 5K run walk. Ed Cedar was the official starter. Proceeds will support the soon-to-be built Fisher House, Wisconsin. Always a great time.
Yeah, what a great program.
Gallardo against Matt Kemp. He'll start it off. As we go to the fourth, Kemp walked on 4 consecutive pitches in the second inning. He still has not seen a strike yet. Bouncing ball out to Segura. And there is out number 1. Well, Miller Park looks great. It's been a busy weekend here at Miller Park. The Kenny Chesney concert this weekend, and I was very surprised to see how good the field looks. You know, sometimes you get a concert in the outfield,
it gets beat up.
It can really destroy an outfield. But Sophia, Justin Scott and his gang, they've done a great job getting this field ready for today's series.
They absolutely did, and the steps for this started on Monday. Setup for the show started on Monday, went all week, and then on Saturday, the day of the show, Justin and his crew of more than 20 were here starting at 4 o'clock, and they literally worked around the clock from the time until the show ended Saturday night until 9:30 last night, with taking the floor off the field that protected it, blowing the grass back up, watering, and then they had to do 3,000 square feet of resodding, especially in center field, and you see especially the area in deep center field. So worked tirelessly to get this field ready for this game. Then tonight it was just a normal day of prep, so to speak, but he said they did a terrific job getting this field ready.
Well, Andre Ethier answers a triple and an RBI in the second with a home run here in the fourth, and he puts the Dodgers up 2-1. Ethier with both RBIs, that gives him 4 home runs for the season.
Major power outage for the Dodgers so far this year, next to last in home runs and runs scored. But Andre Ethier takes that cut fastball that stayed middle in. Lucroy wanted it away. Gallardo missed, and look what happens. Andre Ethier gives the Dodgers a 1-run lead. Boy, location.
This is a team that doesn't hit a lot of home runs, but they certainly have the power to do it. And a resume to do it as well. A number of players who have been big home run hitters in the past, as A.J. Ellis takes a strike, quickly 0-2. Now, we do want to give a lot of credit to Justin and his crew. I think there's some truth to the rumor that they were out there actually laying on the ground saying nice things to the grass, as Ellis shoots that one by Ricky Weeks. It looked like Ricky Weeks saw that one off the bat.
Right, it wasn't that far away from him. Kind of went under him.
That'll be a base hit for A.J. Ellis. I mean, you know, the grass, that's a living thing, and
right,
you got to be nice to it. You got to talk nice to it. You got to apologize if
it's a plant, right? You have to talk to plants. I would imagine Justin and his guys are actually laying on the ground as that concert was going on, protecting it from some of the folks. But
exactly.
I'll tell you the one thing I know Justin's happy about is some of the warm temperatures and sun that the Milwaukee area has had. The field looks in very good shape. A little bit worried about it early in the season. All the rain and the cold, had to keep the roof closed, and they have done a marvelous job with this this playing field this year. It's been a challenge.
The hardy bluegrass. Would it touch a centimere? Juan Uribe, a little bit late, fouls it into the seats.
Hey, ordinarily your ground crew, you know, on a 10-game road trip has got no big deal. They just nice and easy, get the field ready, but kind of double duty on Saturday night and Sunday. How was that concert? Did you hear?
Heard it was great. Great pictures. Caitlin Moyer posted up some photographs. They had over 40,000 here at Miller Park. And Paul McCartney's coming in concert later this summer.
All-Star break.
I kind of like enjoying music in a more intimate setting, but to be in a big stadium like that, a stadium concert,
right?
That's something special too.
How intimate does it have to be?
Yeah, I kind of like, you know, maybe 6 or 7 people.
Yeah.
That's when you really can hear all the instruments.
Maybe Paul McCartney will come over to your house and oblige you.
Yeah, a little personal concert, I'm sure.
I mean, you know people.
Sir Paul McCartney. That's going to be great fun, though. I think it's sold out, but you never know. Just like with the Kenny Chesney concert, once they set up the stage, sometimes there are, you know, some seats that become available because the stage doesn't take up as much space or it's configured a little differently. So stay tuned. Always some sneaky tickets available at the last minute for those who are patient enough. One and two. Uribe lays off a breaking ball in the dirt. Of course, thinking about summer concerts, always want to endorse Summerfest and that great event. It's nothing better than being in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in the summertime, and baseball here at Miller Park, the great music down at Summerfest, the State Fair. Just missed.
Speaking of concerts, I want to congratulate your daughter Maddie. She was in a concert. Has a nice voice.
Oh,
Where'd you get that?
I don't know. Not from here.
Yeah.
She can sing.
Yes, she can.
That was fun. Thank you, Rock. I was nervous.
Yeah, I bet.
Watching her sing. Runner takes off. Bouncing ball foul. He's got it. No problem.
Question is, was Maddie nervous?
No, she wasn't. She's.
Doesn't matter if you're nervous. You have nothing to do with it.
Like, you know how it is, parents, when you watch your kids perform or play or whatever. Wow.
She didn't sound nervous.
I remember sitting there with you when you used to watch your son play baseball.
Nerve.
I mean, I've sat next to you for hundreds and hundreds of baseball games. I've never seen you like that before.
Yeah. You can't do it for him as much as you'd like, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's one of the great parts about summertime in Milwaukee, too. Get all the families at the ballpark. 3-2 pitch. Runner goes. Shattered bat. Breaks in 3 pieces as Aramis takes care of Uribe. Oh, it just destroyed that bat of Juan Uribe.
Hey, fans, enroll in a world-class experience this summer as Quick Trip presents the inaugural year of the Brewers Baseball Academy. These instructional kid camps are coming to a city near you. Visit brewers.com/camps today. Those camps are for kids ages 6 to 14. Go to brewers.com/camps to sign up.
Don't see many broken bats in the summer camp. Look at that. What a great image of that bat shattering.
Man.
Two outs for Gallardo, and here is Deke Gordon. Bouncing ball right to Segura, one shortstop to the other, and that will retire the side. But Andre Ethier, a home run to give the Dodgers the lead again, 2-1.
And Brewers fans, it is not too early to vote for your favorite Brewers in our Felco All-Star voting update. So there you see Corey Hart, Ricky Weeks, Aramis Ramirez, Gene Segura, Jonathan Lucroy, Nori Aoki, Carlos Gomez, and Ryan Braun. You can go ahead to brewers.com/all-star and vote for your favorite Brewers, guys.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Headed to the bottom of the fourth inning, and Ryan Braun will lead off for Milwaukee. Now in his 7th season in the major leagues. Braun has been an all-star in every season so far with the exception of his rookie year, and won the Rookie of the Year that season. But he started the year in AAA. He was in AAA until late May.
Well, certainly deserving another trip to the All-Star game in New York this year, Citi Field. How about Aoki? All of a sudden, he's climbing the charts a little bit. That batting average, the way he's been swinging the bat.
He could make a strong case for Aoki, Segura, Gomez, certainly Braun.
Yeah.
He'll be among the fan votes again, you would think. And he takes a strike. He's not happy with that call. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You hear Ryan, or you can see Ryan talking to Dan Bellino saying, is that the bottom? That's the bottom, right? Bottom of the strike zone. You're not going to go any lower. That's low.
Wow.
That's not, shouldn't be the bottom.
That ball scalded to center field. A base hit for Braun. Kemp over to cut it off. Braun thinking about 2. And Kemp has to make a good throw in. He put the pressure on, didn't he? Kemp looked up and saw him flying out of the box.
Kemp playing very deep out there in center field. He kicked up a divot for that new side out there in center field. And what a piece of hitting by Ryan Braun. A slider from Kershaw, and he just rips it into center field. Guy can hit. Wow.
And Braun certainly knows the condition of that loose sod out there, and just in case Kemp had trouble with it, he was ready to go. Now Ramirez into center field. Kemp easing back at the track, and he'll make the catch for the out. Ramos just missed it on the bat.
Yeah, it sounded like he got it down in the trademark just a little bit.
That'll lead us to our carsoup.com email the booth question. Dolores in New Berlin wants to know, who was the most dominant left-handed pitcher you ever faced?
That's easy. Randy Johnson.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when he was in his prime, I mean, he was one of those guys like Chapman you just didn't want to face. And back in those days, he was effectively wild. Throwing and just missed the brim of your helmet and then paints you on the outside corner 3 times.
The big unit.
Yeah, he could pitch. He was intimidating. That fastball and slider.
And how would you classify Kershaw? Doesn't seem like intimidating is the word.
He just good generally all around. I mean, mixes his pitches. He keeps you honest on the inside corner. He's got very good control. But certainly not, you know, I think the thing about Randy Johnson, he was so tall. And almost that big stride, it's almost like he was handing the ball to the catcher right on top of you.
Now Randy Johnson was 6'10". Bill Schroeder's lifetime batting average against Randy Johnson 0.00. 0 for 6.
How many punch outs?
Just 2.
That's not bad.
No, that's all right.
He struck out a lot of guys, my friend.
A couple of early foul ball outs. Those were always, you know, that saved you a strikeout.
I broke a couple of bats, I know.
That had to hurt too, huh?
Yeah. How'd you come up with that one so fast?
That was that would be Mike Faulkner.
Thanks, Mike. Good to be home, isn't it?
Yep. He sends another note. It says, "You're welcome." So of Randy Johnson's 4,875 strikeouts, you were only responsible for 2 of them.
Yeah, but only 6 at bats.
Right. Probably one more at bat away from going deep. 0-2 to Lucroy. Brewers got a run in the 3rd inning. Scratched one with a ground out from Aoki after a walk and a single to start the inning. And Lucroy in the air to left. He was fooled by the pitch and didn't have much on it. 2 outs now. So Kershaw with 2 away after the Braun single. And here comes Carlos Gomez. A nice feature during our Brewers Live pregame with Craig Kershaw and Carlos Gomez. Put together an extended link feature on Gomez that'll be airing soon. Carlos has reinvented himself. Started in the second half last season and has carried it over to this season. Carlos comes into play today, 4th in the league in batting. Gomez has also hit for some power this year. He has 6 home runs. That is 4th on the club. Segura with 7, and then Betancourt and Braun sitting on 8. Powerball home run leaderboard for Milwaukee. Haven't seen a lot of home runs from the top of that leaderboard lately. Other part of Kershaw's game, and it seems that he does everything well, but he does hold runners very well. And A.J. Ellis behind the plate has thrown out 10 runners trying to steal, which is the most in the major leagues.
Yeah, 43%. And we're talking about how solid of a catcher he is.
So it's a tough combination to run on. And it's been that way for the Brewers in the last 3 series. Had the Pirates and Russell Martin behind the plate. Of course, Cincinnati had Ryan Hanigan. He's a tough guy to run on as well.
Right. Yadier Molina with St. Louis.
That's kind of shut down the running game, other than that one game in Pittsburgh with Michael McHenry catching. Brewers stole 6 bases. Gomez swings and misses. Struck him out on a high curveball.
Every Friday, high school and college students can purchase select tickets at special savings courtesy of Time Warner Cable. Visit brewers.com/students. The first 250 students to do that, to redeem their tickets from section 233, get a free T-shirt. How about that?
Free is always good.
Yeah.
If it's free, it's for me, Rock. Give me 3.
I know. I travel with you.
Kershaw leads off. He led off in the 3rd inning, had a hit against Gallardo, had a single to left field. Kershaw can swing the bat in his opening day start. Not only did he finish the game, throw a complete game on opening day and a shutout, he also hit a home run. So you got a couple of pitchers here who both handle the bat well, and it's not just an easy out. You got to do a little pitching with these two guys, and they know it. Charter high-speed pitch. Looking at Kershaw at 94, Gallardo at 93. That one's in there. Strike two.
Man, Gallardo has really benefited in his last couple of starts from that extended stride that he and Granitz were talking about. Gives him a better angle on his breaking pitch.
Ricky Weeks backhands it and throws in time for the out. Retiring Clayton Kershaw for the first out. Let's check in with Sophia.
Brian, we check in our minor league report with the Huntsville Stars in AA. Taylor Youngman last night went 7 strong innings, giving up just 7 hits, 3 earned runs, and 1 walk. Unfortunately, in a losing effort, the Stars dropped 3-0 to the Montgomery Biscuits. How's that for a name, Brian?
The Biscuits in the Southern League. I like it. Well, Taylor Youngman's a guy that a lot of people are watching, a former first-round draft pick. And he got off to a slow start. They sat him down for a couple of starts. Actually made a trip to the disabled list. And he's come back and he's pitched very well. And that's a guy that the Brewers are hoping ends up in the rotation in the big leagues at some point.
Yep, saw he and Jed Bradley in spring training this year. They look pretty good. A little bit of seasoning down in the minor leagues. Both of them big kids.
Yeah, both college pitchers. Youngman, one of the top players, top pitchers in the country in his draft. As Crawford shoots one into right center. Gomez cuts it off. Crawford on his way to second, and he's in there with a double. Boy, just flying around the bases. Carl Crawford with a hustle double in the 5th.
Man, Gomez really did a nice job getting over in that gap, trying to keep Crawford at first base, but he's just too fast. Fastball down. He likes it in there. He likes it down and in. He just golfs it out there into the gap, and Gomez doing his best to cut it off and make a good throw into second base. Crawford outruns it.
Well, wouldn't you love to see a Gomez Crawford sprint around the bases?
I got Gomez.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, it would be good.
That would be a good one. I would love to see that. Sounds like a pay-per-view event. Remember after Little League games when you'd both start at home plate? One would go down the third base line, the other goes down the first base line, and whoever got to home plate first.
What'd you get?
Oh, I never won that. Never won that. I got nervous around second base, the collision at second base. Whoever gets the inside track.
Well, didn't the guy going around the bases in reverse have a disadvantage?
Because of the right turns?
Well, yeah, you're not used to making a turn like that.
Hey, man, when you're 10 years old, you're not used to anything.
That may be why you never won.
I always took the Jimmy Pearsall route. It's fun to run around the bases backwards.
Segura did it.
Yes, he did. The man who stole first base. He'll be telling that story when he's an old man somewhere playing dominoes.
Yep, so will I. I've been telling it everywhere we go.
You're already telling it.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Being that you're already an old man.
Right. I get it. I ignored it.
Betancourt gobbles it up. And out number 2 is Ellis. On the 3 unassisted, Crawford advances to third base. That's a true story, though, about Jimmy Pearsall. He hit a home run in a major league game and took off around the bases backwards. Was immediately called out.
Yeah, can't do that.
Runner at third, 2 outs, Adrian Gonzalez. So if you just take the names off the lineup card, you've got a hitter who's the best in the league with runners in scoring position at the plate right now. You got a hitter on deck who's one of the worst. But it's Gonzalez and Kemp. And it's very risky to keep testing Matt Kemp, although he is off to a very slow start. at some point you figure he's going to break out of the slump he's in.
Yeah, Kemp with runners in scoring position, 171.
And Gonzalez right at the top of the list. Runner at third, 2 outs. He chased one.
Well, four-seam fastball up and away, and Adrian Gonzalez way behind it, upset with himself for swinging at it.
Crawford had a 1-out double. Gallardo trying to strand him at third base. And the 1-2 and a swing and a miss. He went to the same spot. And Dodger fans say, at 2, Adrian. Even Gonzalez leaves one stranded in scoring position. And Gallardo with a scoreless 5th. Big strikeout on Adrian Gonzalez.
Check out our head and shoulders whip for tonight. Adrian Gonzalez up there leads the National League at hitting with runners in scoring position. Back-to-back fastballs up and away, and he strikes him out, his 5th of the night. And we stay at 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning.
And Gallardo has 3 strikeouts with a runner at third base in this game. Got back-to-back Ks in the 2nd inning in that situation, and strikes out Gonzalez with Crawford at third. 2-1, Kershaw back to work. And Ricky Weeks pops it up a mile high in the infield. Foul territory for Uribe for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out on a foul pop. Hey, we want to send out our best to a friend of the family. Roger Kaplinger, our I don't even know what his title is now. Director of
Medical Affairs?
Yes, he's a former head athletic trainer for the Brewers, but say hello to Eleanor Kaplinger, had her knee replaced.
She's in town here, watched the broadcast, big fan of Brewers baseball.
So Eleanor, hope you're healing quickly.
Roger is the director of medical operations.
There, I knew he had a nice official title. We don't see him much anymore. He's kind of a suit now.
Yeah, 9 to 5-er. Good guy.
Smart man. He is advanced in his field. So advanced they moved him up into the ivory tower. And, one of the best athletic trainers in the game. He's on a number of committees for Major League Baseball. That was a big part of that the committee that came up with the concussion disabled list. All the studies for concussions in baseball. Betancourt had a hit his last time up. Had a single to left. Only 2 hits tonight against Kershaw. Both of them singles. Ooh, a curveball called, strike 3, and Betancourt. Some parting words for Dan Bellino.
And Need Buckler, that big curveball. That's the one that he hasn't really broken out a whole lot. That spin at 12-6, and Betancourt probably thought it was outside. It wasn't too high. That is a good curveball. The old Uncle Charlie.
Well, a reminder, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. 2 outs for Gallardo. Kershaw coming off his 3rd strikeout. Gallardo's got some pop in his bat. 2 home runs this season. And no pitcher in Brewers franchise history has more home runs than Gallardo. He's hit 12 home runs in his career. We see Kershaw really challenging himself to get the release on that curveball. That's a couple of times he's done that after he's left curveballs up in the zone. 2-2. Fastball low. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. The last inning when Kershaw was walking off the mound. Now this was on a strikeout to Gomez. He's not happy the way he's throwing the curveball. Big swing. Gallardo down on strikes. So he went with a heat. Picks up his 4th K and a scoreless 5th. Going here, a pitcher's duel between Giovanni Gallardo and Clayton Kershaw. Well, right now on FoxSportsWisconsin.com, you can get an update on the Brewers' top prospects. Packers rookie running backs Lacey and Franklin contributing on the Badgers' new recruiting pipeline. The Wisconsin Badgers taking pictures. I don't blame them. A couple of headliners out there today, and Gallardo and Kershaw. Plenty of star power. It's just hard to believe these 2 teams are at the bottom of their respective divisions as we come together here in late May. Dodgers took 2 out of 3 from the Brewers at Dodger Stadium last month. Brewers coming off a 2-8 road trip Los Angeles was swept in Atlanta in their last series. Matt Kemp launches one to left. That is way back, and a home run for Matt Kemp. Only his second home run of the season, but he gives the Dodgers a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, coming in, Giovanni had only given up 4 home runs, 2 tonight. And 2 struggling hitters, at least hitting home runs, have gone deep. Kemp and Ethier. Cut fastball that didn't do much, and Matt Kemp able to knock it out of here. Second deck out there in left field. A mistake by Yo, and Matt Kemp hits it a long way.
It's amazing how small he can make a ballpark look. That ball was out in a flash. Well, Andre Ethier and Matt Kemp doing the damage tonight. Ethier has 2 RBIs, a triple and a homer. And Gallardo straightens him up. That's the thing about Kemp. He is an all-star player, an MVP caliber type player, and at any time he can bust out of it.
And that's why you don't pitch around Adrian Gonzalez in the last inning. I mean, just the threat of him being in that lineup, I mean, forces you to pitch to Adrian Gonzalez. Giovanni able to get Gonzalez out, could not get Kemp out.
2-0 on Ethier. That one's in there for a strike. That home run by Kemp, his first since April 24th. And he had a long drought, the longest of his career prior to that at bat. He actually homered against Matt Harvey of the Mets. With 86 at bats without a home run before that first one, and had a long drought before the next one. Two and 2 on Ethier. Bouncing ball. Weeks is over. And he makes a play. Nicely done. First time Ethier has been retired tonight. One gone in the 6th.
And Giovanni coming back in that at bat. He was down 2-0. Made 2 very good pitches on the outside corner. And then got Ethier out in front.
Gallardo's pitch count at 91. It's pretty high for pitching in the 6th inning. He's had a lot of deep counts tonight, giving up 3 runs thus far on 7 Dodger hits. And his lone 3-up 3-down inning was the first. A shot and a base hit. Ellis drives one past Segura for a single, and 1-out single, and Ellis with his second hit.
Yeah, Gallardo going with the 4-seamer. It was supposed to be away. Watch where it ends up, right down the middle, and A.J. Ellis bangs it into left field on a 2-0 count.
Well, Gallardo heading down to the bottom of the order now. On another base runner, and you figure the bullpen will get active. Monteribe with one away. Monteribe in the final year of his contract with the Dodgers. Signed a 3-year deal after a great World Series in 2010 with the Giants. Has not been the player the Dodgers had hoped for. Matter of fact, in his 3 seasons in Los Angeles, he has not played more than 77 games. In the first year of a 3-year deal, he played in just 77 games. hit .204. Hit .191 in 161, or check it, in 66 games last year.
Yeah, he takes a huge hack up there, and he'll even take a swing like that with 2 strikes. It's kind of been the story for the Dodgers, though, underperforming. I mean, it's hard to blame the manager for that.
I'm with you.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes, right? Managers, coaches, they get the blame when things aren't going well. Players get all the credit when they are going well.
That is going to be a swing. Unable to check his swing, according to Wally Bell, the first base umpire, and a strikeout for Gallardo.
Good curveball by Yo, and Lucroy able to keep it in front of him.
I mean, you've been around Don Mattingly a lot.
Yeah.
Played against him, and you know, we've had our plenty of conversations with him. He seems like the perfect manager for a team like this. He's very steady.
A lot of veteran guys that don't need a whole lot of motivation. I mean, they do that on their own. He just you know, tactician during the game and filling out that lineup card. I'm sure he does a lot more than that. You know he does, but I mean, with the way these guys have played this year, underperforming, really no surprise why they're having the season that they're having. I mean, big payroll and a lot of expectations.
You know, baseball is so different than any other sport. It's not like football, hockey, even basketball. You know, those grand speeches that you hear from coaches and those motivational speeches, that just doesn't apply in the game of baseball. And if you're looking at a manager to help fire up a Major League Baseball team, then you're in big trouble.
Yeah, you've got a bunch of guys that shouldn't be out there, right? And we're not saying that's the situation with the Dodgers. We don't know what goes on.
I mean, the character of the player has to be accountable for most of that.
And we're talking about every player in baseball. I mean, every team. I'm not picking on the Dodgers, but our players have to be self-motivators. I mean, the 1st and the 15th is motivation enough. That's payday.
Amen. Gordon takes a ball just outside. 3 balls and a strike. Now, Ron Renicky had a closed-door meeting in Pittsburgh, and it was very low-key. It lasted about 4.5 minutes. He didn't tip over the spread and, you know, get all angry and stomp around. He just said, here's the deal. You guys are Major League players. You're accountable to what's happening here. This is a results-oriented business.
Right.
This is what I'm seeing. He's basically just holding up a mirror to his team, but there's no, you know, let's come together and go win one for the Gipper.
Right.
It's not the way it goes in baseball. Full count, 2 outs. Runner takes off, and Gordon pops it foul out of play. A Gallardo fan coming up with a catch on a Gallardo night. That's a memory. Do it again. Another full count. Ellis takes off, and a swing and a miss. Gordon down on strikes, and Giovanni with 7 Ks. That might be his last hitter. Gene Segura due up second, the league's leading hitter, when we come back. Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Famous Water Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great to be home. All lit up on a Monday night. Good crowd tonight. Seeing the Brewers and the Dodgers. Superman has made it. That kid was out like a light before the game started, man. He is up from his nap and just getting it all put back together again.
Hard to fall asleep with all that's going on in this ballpark. All the lights, all the noise.
He's ready for a rally. He's got his cape on and everything. Now Nori Aoki will lead off. The Brewers have the top of the order against Clayton Kershaw coming up. Aoki on the first pitch. Out to Ethier. And one pitch and one out once again for Kershaw. Well, Kershaw has been extremely efficient tonight. Gene Segura, speaking of efficiency, what a road trip. 3 home runs on the road trip. Hit his first home run to the pull side of the field in Pittsburgh after a couple of home runs to the opposite field. Gives him 7 for the season. And put himself at the top of the National League batting race. He played today.
Yeah, he's for real. It's not just a hot streak. He's been doing it from the beginning of the year, since opening day.
Quickly 0-2 on Segura. Grounded out and struck out in this game.
Nearly 60 pitches for Kershaw. So you talk about that high pitch count last time, and how do you get through a game when you have a very high pitch count to start before? You get a lot of outs early in the count.
Slow roller back to the mound, and Kershaw, the former Gold Glover, makes the play for the out.
Yeah, that's the way you have to attack Kershaw, though. You get a fastball that you like early in the count, go after it. If you make an out, so be it. But the deeper into the count you get on him, the less likely you are to get a good pitch to hit. Pretty much just the opposite from a lot of pitchers. I mean, you get deep into the count, you get 3-2, 2-2, and guy going to make a mistake. He doesn't make many.
Ryan Braun has one of the 2 hits tonight for Milwaukee. He and Betancourt. And a big swing by Braun. Ryan has the best hit ball of the night. He hit a rope into center field back in the 4th inning. Braun's got his average up to 320. And he is among league leaders at this point. He has hit his way into the top 10 in hitting.
And he is very close to getting into one of those home run stretches. Been seeing the ball well. Staying on the baseball, hitting it to the opposite field, and that's when we know Ryan's really using his hands and being confident at the plate. The home runs will follow.
That's been a while. Braun has not homered since the 10th of May. Off a lefty. It's that one hard into left center field. That's going to get down. Outfielder's very deep. Braun will have to stop at first. That's the thing about the Dodgers outfield. They have so much speed out there in left field and center field. It's tough to squeeze one through the gap. So the second hit for Braun, that brings up Aramis Ramirez. And how about his night on Friday night in St. Louis? That's 3 home runs total, 2 of them in that game against the Cardinals.
Yep, back-to-back 3-run home runs off of Jaime Garcia to get the Brewers right back in that game after falling behind 6-0. And now would be a pretty good time for one.
Long ball here would tie it up. Ramirez just missed one back in the 4th inning. Just caught it on the label a hair, and it was a long fly ball out to the warning track in right center. You can tell Braun wants to run, but he's having a tough time. At least his last time at first base, he just really never got that good jump. And now it's 0-2 on Ramirez.
Well, and the last thing you want to do is make outs on the bases and help Kershaw in that regard. You don't want to do that unless you get a great jump or pick that pitch right there, that big curveball. That's tough to make a throw on, but you never know when it's coming.
You can just see the tightness of the spin, the rotation.
You can hear it as it comes in. It's coming in there so good.
0-2 to Ramirez. And a curveball skips away from Ellis, and Braun will take second base, courtesy of Clayton Kershaw this time. Well, now a base hit could bring in a run for Milwaukee.
Yeah, one issue, if Ellis has one, is blocking pitches in the dirt. Where it is, he's had a tough time doing that this year, but everything else has been very good.
It's a third wild pitch of the season for Kershaw. Considering the kind of curveball he throws and the slider he throws, that's pretty impressive. Can the Brewers take advantage? Down 3-1. We play in the 6th. Ramos waiting for a mistake. And a curveball hangs high. 2-2 now.
And all breaking pitches to Ramirez so far in this at bat. It's been 3 curveballs and a slider. Let's see what they decide to do. That was probably what A.J. Ellis was talking about with Kershaw.
Got Braun with great speed at second base. 2-2 to Ramirez. Lucroy is on deck. Kershaw deals and Ramirez yanks it foul. Slider from Kershaw down and in.
They don't want to give Ramirez his fastball to hit, do they?
He's seen nothing but spinners. He's got a good at bat going. One thing about Ramirez, he hits mistakes. That's why he's been so good all these years. Kershaw doesn't make many of them. Another 2-2, and Ramirez bounces one to short. Gordon winds it up and throws him out, and the side is retired. The Brewers get a hit from Braun but strand him. Still 3-1 Los Angeles. Here at Miller Park in our Toyota game summary, Andre Ethier has 2 runs batted in, a triple and a homer. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Matt Kemp has a home run to left. And it's been the Kemp and Ethier show, as it has been so many times against Milwaukee. Ryan Braun with 2 hits, but he has been stranded twice. Brewers scored their run in the 3rd inning on a ground out by Nori Aoki, which scored Ricky Weeks. 3-1. Gallardo against Kershaw. Gallardo is out. John Axford is in as we go to the 7th.
Yeah, John Axford picked up his first win of the year on Saturday against the Cardinals. He pitched an inning in the 3rd. Did not allow a run, 3 strikeouts, and has allowed just 1 run over his last 5 outings. So Axford's been sporting that slider lately. Last 2 outings for John have been very good.
Axford has looked as good as he has all year in his last 2 outings. Matter of fact, that outing against St. Louis the other day on Saturday looked like vintage Axford from 2011. Had a fastball that was 97 miles an hour.
Throwing a breaking pitch for strikes and came up with a big punch out to end a threat for the Cardinals in the 9th. Ended up picking up a win.
He's got Kershaw leading off, then back to the top of the order. Kershaw out to Ricky Weeks, and routine ground ball for out number 1 for the Axeman. This is an 8-game homestand. After the Dodgers, it'll be the Pirates, and then the 2-gamer against the Twins Monday and Tuesday. And then the Brewers go to Minnesota, so they're going to see the Twins for 4 consecutive games. Memorial Day Monday here. Don't forget it's an afternoon start on Monday on Memorial Day. Crawford into left field. Braun for the 2nd out. Now don't forget, stay tuned to Brewers Live postgame as we break down the techniques and strategies of the game. Rock and Davey tonight with the instructional. Our postgame instructional. A previously recorded event, which will be detailing what?
Johnny Nairn, and we're going to be talking about some hitting drills. It's a 3-part instruction that we do. We're going to start tonight and finish on Wednesday. And it is must-see TV. Johnny did a great job breaking down hitting.
So Davey's role will be somewhat limited on the pre-taped event. Maybe just a post-instructional analysis.
He'll be paying it off at the end.
Paying it off. That's a good word. Good TV phrase. There are both of the Nairns.
Yeah, I would recommend setting the DVRs for that. I mean, that was really good.
Was Logan Schaefer involved in that, or was that just you and
Logan was in there. I had no role whatsoever. You know, I went in there in the batting cage with Johnny and Logan, and I thought that I was going to have to, you know, kind of throw my 2 cents in there. I learned right away in that session that Johnny Nairn didn't need me for anything, which was A-OK by me.
Heck yeah, looking forward to it. A great orchestra needs a great maestro, and that's what you are, Rock. See if the Brewers can get some runs. Nice inning by Axford. 7th. Beautiful day and night here in Milwaukee, and that was not the case in Oklahoma today. And we're sending our thoughts and prayers out to all those affected by the massive tornadoes around the Oklahoma City area. And growing up down there and a corridor of tornadoes, I can tell you what they ranked this one. That was an E4, an EF4 tornado, which is winds up to 200 miles an hour. It is one of the most devastating types of tornadoes they can have, and we're thinking about those folks down there, and hopefully you'll do the same. And we encourage you to donate to the channels that you would like to donate to that helps that cause down in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, the pictures that you see on TV are just horrible, horrible.
Yeah, especially the Red Cross. Well, Jonathan Lucroy leading the way for Milwaukee. Clayton Kershaw back on the mound and has been very efficient here today. Has just 73 pitches as he pitches in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a catch-22 for Milwaukee. If you're too patient, you'll find yourself down 0-1 and 0-2 really quick.
Yeah, a lot of times with guys like this, your first strike is the best one to hit. Guys like Kershaw want to get ahead in the count and then start to mess with your head.
Lucroy is 0 for 3. A couple of groundouts today against Kershaw. And you feel like, based on what happened in his last start, the 133 pitches, that at the first sign of trouble, if the Brewers could just get a sustained inning going, a high pitch inning, you figure Mattingly would make the change, wanting to protect his left-hander. Our Subway in-game box score, not a whole lot going on. 3 singles. Braun has 2 of them.
Yeah, 3 singles and a walk. Only 3 base runners for the Brewers. You know, even on that rough road trip, the Brewers didn't really have much problem getting men on base. They were getting their hits, getting base runners, just not able to plate them. Different story tonight so far.
Bouncing ball to Uribe. Got a nice easy hop and 2 gone. Both outs to the third baseman.
Hey, tonight's Tavern of the Game winner, Fat Boys Bar and Grill in St. Cloud. St. Cloud, Wisconsin. If the Tavern Contact calls the Brewers in the next 24 hours. Fat Boys Bar and Grill get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Out there near Fond du Lac, right? The Wisconsin version of St. Cloud?
St. Cloud? Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Ricky Weeks walked and scored in the 3rd. He scored the only Brewers run. Had a leadoff walk in that 3rd inning. Nasty breaking ball, and it's quickly 0-2 on Weeks. Well, Kershaw looks like he's just getting stronger.
And that's why you don't want to take that first pitch fastball. Ricky had one right down the middle. Then he gives him a curveball, and probably won't be a strike here. Yep. He doesn't mess around too much. 0-2 pitch, outer half, good pitch to hit. Ricky behind it.
Clayton Kershaw has a Cy Young Award. He has 2 ERA titles, a strikeout title, led the league in wins. He's only 25 years old. Weeks pops it up. Gonzalez and Ellis converge. It'll be Ellis to make the catch, and Kershaw is in the rocking chair right now. 3 up and 3 down. Brewers trail 3-1. Now with the Dodgers coming up. John Axford working a freaky fast delivery inning. A 6-pitch inning, as a matter of fact. And retiring the Dodgers 1, 2, 3 in the 7th. And he continues to sharpen up. Sharpening the axe. And that is a great sign for the Brewers. And you know, Renicky would love to get him into a point of more confidence, try to get him back where he was a couple of seasons ago, or even at the end of last season.
Right. I mean, and again, you know, the slider was a big part of his success last year in September, and it becomes, and it's an important part of his success in his last handful of outings. It's not often you can do a freaky fast and show a whole inning of pitches.
Right, that's right. Yeah, you saw all 6 right there.
That is freaky fast.
So it's going to be Gonzalez now, trying to keep the Dodgers at 3 as we head to the 8th inning. Starts Gonzalez with a breaking ball strike. Michael is typically in there to face left-handed hitters. He's a situational pitcher, but might see him trying to get through this one all by himself. But left-handers are actually hitting well against Gonzalez. Hitting over 300 against him. So that's an area he'd like to clean up.
Yeah, he's been doing better. He really got off to a rough start in that department. But better lately.
Gonzalez signing a free agent deal with the Brewers, coming to Milwaukee from Washington. And a swing and a miss. Strikeout for Gonzalez. Gonzalez strikes out Gonzalez as we check in with Minner.
Brian, we check in on our AT&T Twitter poll results, asking fans tonight who is the toughest left-handed pitcher, and no surprise, 51% of fans said Clayton Kershaw. Cliff Lee and CC Sabathia each earned 11% of the vote, and John Lester 27%. Now, Rock, I don't know many hitters who would be eager to jump in there, but who do you think would be the most fun to catch of those guys?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Cliff Lee would probably be the easiest guy to catch. He doesn't throw very hard. I mean, he's on the corners, but I think it'd be a lot of fun to catch all 4 of those guys. I mean, all of them have, you know, pretty good control. They pound the strike zone. They've got a repertoire of pitches that they can throw for strikes. And they work quickly. That's the key. I mean, all those guys, I mean, there's one thing in common with a lot of very good pitchers. They don't mess around too much out on the mound. They get the baseball and get it back.
Work fast, throw strikes.
No indecisiveness at all.
Matt Kemp, he homered his last time up. He's 1 out of 2 with a walk. He scored twice tonight. Ball and 2 strikes. So Renicky asking Gonzalez, Michael Gonzalez, to get him through an inning here in the 8th. He's got another left-hander on deck, and Andre Ethier. And when Don Mattingly puts his lineup together, this is why he has Matt Kemp in between the 2 left-handers. That was one of the changes in the lineup that Mattingly made, and he's made a bunch of them this year. But moving Kemp out of the 3-hole, putting him into the cleanup spot, so he can split his left-handers.
And making those matchups a little bit more difficult late in the game.
No manager in the major leagues has used more different lineups than Don Mattingly this season. I mean, he's been a guy searching for answers for a while. 40 different lineups. Two and 2. Swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. Gonzalez with back-to-back Ks. Well, back at it tomorrow night. Brewers and the Dodgers. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. You got Greinke against Hiram Burgos. Zach Greinke making his 2nd start since coming off the disabled list. He was a winner against Washington his last time out, and Greinke with that rod in his left clavicle. Returns to Miller Park tomorrow. He's never lost at Miller Park in his career. He's 15-0.
Time to change that.
0-2 the count.
Gonzalez pitching with purpose tonight. Pounding the strike zone and makes some good quality pitches.
0-2 the count on Ethier. Oh, throws one over his head. Hit the bull.
Look out.
See if he breaks one off here. 1-2. And a breaking ball swung on and missed. Michael Gonzalez striking out the side. He got Adrian Gonzalez. Then he punched out Kemp. Finished off Ethier to finish off the top of the 8th. Back at Miller Park, we head to the bottom of the 8th, and a tight one here in Milwaukee. The Brewers are down to Clayton Kershaw and the Los Angeles Dodgers. 3-1 to score. Kershaw has been outstanding. 1 run on 3 hits. Only run came in the 3rd inning on an RBI ground out by Aoki. Andre Ethier got ejected after we went to a commercial break. So Skip Schumacher takes over in right field. Ethier struck out. I think he was barking at Dan Bellino on an early called strike in that count. I'm guessing. But he's out. Schumacher is in. And the Dodgers lose a big bat, which won't matter much unless the Brewers put up a comeback here.
It was a very quiet conversation. He must have said a number of the magic words that you just can't say to an umpire. Or one of them. It only takes one of those words.
One ball, one strike. Betancourt, one of 3 Brewers hits tonight. Braun has the other 2. All of them have been singles. Ethier's had a big night at the plate. You'd think a guy who has a triple and a home run and 2 RBIs wouldn't be so upset after an at-bat. But he was, and out he goes. 2-1, a hot one right to Uribe. And he makes a play for the out. 1 gone.
Yeah, good glove when it's right at him. Not a lot of range, but he'll make the play if he can get to it.
Ho-Chunk Gaming text question. Rock from Mark in Grafton. Who was the best left-handed pitcher you've ever caught?
Now, there's two of them that I can think of. Ted Higuera, when at the top of his game, and was probably the best. But I caught Chuck Finley when I was a member of the California Angels. They were California Angels back then. But I always say the best left-hander, maybe the best pitcher I've caught in his prime, Ted Higuera.
And at least on one night, maybe Juan Nieves.
Yeah, right.
Alex Gonzalez pinch hitting.
The Dodgers have a guy on their coaching staff that's a teammate of mine, a bullpen guy, Chuck Krim.
Oh, yeah.
Is the bullpen coach of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tremendous reliever.
He was Dan Plesac's setup man in the late 80s. Chuck Krim.
And a heck of a bass fisherman.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what you hear, or what you've read, or what you know?
I played with him. I mean, I heard the stories. He had a boat. I think he's still he used to be anyway, a professional. I mean, he'd go out on those Bass Pro Tours. Yeah.
He's a bass master.
I've had some success yanking in a bass or two.
I mean, you're borderline pro in that category.
Nope. You know, the pros go out in all weather. You know, it's got to be a beautiful day for me.
Yeah. Fair weather bass master.
Yes,
you are.
exactly.
1-2 to Gonzalez. And on a hob, Gordon went to a knee, makes the play for the out. I got fooled by the soft line drive of Alex Gonzalez. 2 outs now for Clayton Kershaw. Time is running out for the Brewers. Kershaw has retired 14 of 15. 14 of his last 15 faced. There's one hit since the 4th inning. That was Braun's single. Aoki laces one foul. Giovanni Gallardo started tonight, went 6 innings, 8 hits, gave up 3 earned runs. On the hook for the loss. Bouncing ball. Gordon coming over. Big hop. And a throw is low. It hits Aoki. Aoki is safe on an error by D. Gordon. Now, Gordon came up as one of the very good defensive shortstop, but he struggled this year. That wasn't even close.
Well, I'm not sure what Adrian Gonzalez was doing. He wasn't even stretching in the right direction. He was stretching right toward second base and didn't give him much help. That's one of the reasons I think the Dodgers have been so poor defensively, and plays like that. But Gonzalez certainly could have helped out a shortstop on that play.
Well, that could have hurt him. Second error for Gordon. Now the tying run is at the plate. Gene Segura. 2 outs in the inning, and Segura takes a strike. Kershaw just zips one in on the inside corner, right at the bottom of the strike zone. And when you throw a lot of strikes, you do get the calls. Dan Bellino is hearing about it from that Brewers dugout.
Yep, you know, umpires get used to seeing strikes and they call them. Sometimes you get a little bit off the corners.
What a key at bat right here. Got Ryan Braun on deck. You know, Kershaw is going to be aggressive with Segura. He does not want to see Braun hit in this inning. 3-1 Dodgers. And it's a ball and a strike on Segura. Kershaw's pitch count 94 as he works in the 8th. Tying run at the plate. Segura swing and a miss.
Good slider again. He's used that pitch very effectively tonight. Just when you think you're going to get a fastball, he puts a little wrinkle in it, and you're over the top.
Perfect spot, down and in. And now Kershaw in the driver's seat. Segura looking for a mistake. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curveball popped up. Foul territory. Gonzalez with room, and that is that for the Brewers in the 8th. Kershaw works around an error. He is through 8 with the lead.
Of the game came in the 8th. Michael Gonzalez out of the bullpen looking real strong on 14 pitches. Gets 3 strikeouts. The Dodgers keeping Milwaukee in this one. They trailed only 3-1, but only an inning left of baseball here. Craig Kershaw, Davey Nelson getting set for Brewers Live. It's been Clayton Kershaw once again being the Brewers' nemesis out on the hill.
Well, and he's showing why he's one of the best pitchers in the game. Partner, he's been throwing a nice fastball, has good command, but that 12-6 curveball and that slider has just been unhittable.
All right, we're going to break down the game. Yost performance as well coming up on Brewers Live postgame, plus our instructional all on the way. Brewers Live postgame coming up. Brian?
All right, Craig and Davey, thanks. Looking forward to that. Hopefully it's a good news story on Brewers Live. Brewers are going to need a comeback tonight. Burke Badenhop given the responsibility of keeping the Dodgers at 3 runs as he takes to the mound here in the 9th.
Yep, last pitch on Saturday against the Cardinals. Hasn't allowed an earned run in his last 9 appearances. Well, Badenhop, a part of a Brewers bullpen that has been pretty good as of late.
Got A.J. Ellis leading off for Los Angeles. Ellis has 2 hits tonight, 2 of the 8 Dodger hits. Gallardo gave up all 8 of those hits. The bullpen has been good so far, 6 up and 6 down. Axford had a 6-pitch 7th inning, 3 up 3 down, and then Michael Gonzalez struck out the side last inning. And now Badenhop picks up a K. With 4 strikeouts in a row and 7 in a row retired by the pen.
Yeah, before tonight, the last 13 games for the Brewers bullpen, they've posted a 2.05 earned run average, and Badenhop's been a big part of that. Good slider off the corner to get Ellis. They've given up only 10 earned runs in the last 44 innings before tonight.
Strike called on the corner. Ron Uribe at the plate. He's been a busy man at third base tonight. He's made all the plays. Dodgers have committed an error, but Kershaw pitched around it last inning. Well, that's a big league breaking ball there from Badenhop. Why not go back to it? 0-2. Uribe lays off. You hear managers and coaches talk about players who bring energy to the field. Badenhop is one of those guys.
His energy and about 5 other guys' energy. That guy's never sitting down.
Got plenty to tap into, and a swing and a miss as Badenhop bounces off the mound. Back-to-back strikeouts.
And 12 strikeouts for Brewers pitching tonight.
Gallardo had 7, Gonzalez with 3, and now Badenhop with 2.
Slider off the corner, and Juan Uribe just waves at it.
Looking ahead to the Brewers' 9th inning, Ryan Braun will lead off, then Ramirez, and then Lucroy. And there is no activity in that Dodger bullpen. This is Kershaw's game. First pitch swinging, Segura, strong throw to get to Speedy Gordon. So the bullpen retires 9 in a row. And here we go to the bottom of the 9th. Braun, Ramirez, and Lucroy. Do the Brewers have a comeback in them tonight at Miller Park? Three to 1 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. In front of nearly 30,000 at Miller Park on a Monday night. Kershaw with 9 career finishers and had a complete game and a shutout in his first start of the season against the Giants on opening day. Also hit a home run in that game. He does have a hit tonight. But the Dodgers offense has come from Andre Ethier and Matt Kemp. Ethier has homered, had a triple and an RBI. Matt Kemp had a home run in the 6th.
And after a very high pitch count his last time out, Don Mattingly is going to allow him to attempt to finish this one. This kind of highlights what we've been saying all night about that Dodgers bullpen.
At the plate, presented by Wendy's. Braun with 2 hits, 2 of the 3 hits for Milwaukee tonight. And Kershaw misses down and away. Brandon League is the Dodger closer, but that position is volatile at best right now. Kenley Jansen is the setup man who actually finished off Kershaw's last start. See Ted Lilly out there. He's just back from the DL.
There's not even anybody even soft tossing right now.
Sit down and enjoy. Braun in the air to left. That was off the end of the bat. And Kershaw with the first out. Well, Clayton Kershaw, as good as it gets in Major League Baseball, and he has been in control from the get-go tonight. Parker.
Only 4 strikeouts. He came into the game tonight, 3rd in nationally with 67 of them, but only 4 tonight. He only walked 1. 3 hits for the Brewers, a team that has been swinging the bats pretty well.
Now there's some pitchers off to great starts this year. You've got Jordan Zimmerman. He's a 7-game winner with the Nationals. Matt Moore of the Rays has won 8 games. Think about Justin Verlander. Some of the great stars of the game, but this guy, for my money, is the best in the business.
And nobody's going to give you much of an argument on that, especially that Brewers offense. And it doesn't get much easier tomorrow.
The ERA leader in the big leagues. As Ramirez goes down the left field line, is it going to stay fair? And it is a foul ball. Just hooked in front of the foul pole. Wow. Tony Randazzo, the third base umpire, made the call, and he was hawking it the whole way.
Yep. High curve ball, Ramirez all over it, just could not keep it fair. Twisting and turning, trying to make that ball go fair, and just foul. Yep, see it disappear behind the foul pole. Actually, the other way around, right? If it disappeared behind the foul pole, it would have been fair.
Well, they feel good enough about it to not check the replay. Now you can't.
Pretty close.
2-2 to Ramirez, and down he goes. Kershaw is an out away from a complete game. Well, in his first start against the Brewers a month ago, he went 8 shutout innings with 12 strikeouts. Looking for his 3rd career win at Miller Park. He's only given up 2 earned runs in 3 career starts. It's 23 innings. Last call for the Brewers. Here's Lucroy. Strike 1. Doesn't get any easier tomorrow. Zach Greinke on the mound for Los Angeles in his return to Miller Park. Little flare and a right. Schumacher coming in, and the Dodgers win it. And Clayton Kershaw proving why he is one of the game's best. A complete game 3 hitter for Kershaw. He gives up just 1 run, strikes out 5. And Kershaw improves to 5-2 on the season, defeating Giovanni Gallardo, who will drop to 3-4. And the Brewers' rough May continues, now 3-15 in the month. So the Dodgers take the opener. We check in with Craig Kershaw. It's time for Brewers Live.
All right, Brian, thanks very much. Pretty stunning performance by Kershaw. We'll talk about it here from the Brewers side as well. Brewer pitching does pretty well here tonight. We'll break that down, especially the bullpen. Coming back for